Hi everyone, welcome to Fat to Thin Seniors RNY. I'm Raven. I'm 76 years old and I had gastric bypass surgery on November 16, 2019. Medicaid approved the surgery. Last week I talked about if I was full or hungry because I wasn't sure, and I'm still not quite sure, but I'm getting better. In this vlog, we'll be talking about the habit of chasing restrictions before and after surgery. I will also be addressing the coronavirus. If you're curious, please join me in this journey and continue to watch, and please comment. Last week I asked, am I hungry or am I full? I didn't know. To tell you the truth, I still am not too sure, but I think I'm paying a little bit more attention. The key back then, last month, was I knew when I was hungry, I knew when I was full, because if I was too full, or even if I wasn't, I would throw it up. So I had a cue of where to stop, pretty much. Because I knew if I took one more bite, and it's funny too, because you kind of instinctively know if you take one more bite, that's it. You're going to be in the bathroom for days, So anyway, every time I thought about throwing up, and I realized that every time I ate, that in the bowl that I had sitting on the scale and measuring out how much I put in that bowl, I put just a little bit more, just for the purpose of seeing how much I could eat. Now, that's chasing restrictions. And believe it or not, the result of doing that just a little bit more is that every time you eat just a little bit more. And that little bit more is just enough to stretch your stomach. So if you know that you feel comfortable eating 3 ounces, you should measure out 3 ounces. I figure, maybe once a week I'll do 3.5 to see how my stomach feels. But basically, 3 seems to be it for me. 3.5, I feel uncomfortably full. 4 ounces, and I'm on the way to finding the barf bag, I'm trying to get this camera not to keep changing light on me. So I said, well, how much am I supposed to be eating anyway at this stage? I had no idea. So I Googled, what's the ideal stomach size after gastric surgery? And I quote, a normal stomach can hold about 3 pints of food. That's 48 ounces. After surgery, the stomach may at first hold as little as 1 ounce, although later that should stretch to 2 or 3 ounces. The smaller the stomach, the less you can eat. The less you eat, the more weight you lose. And that's from the March 26, 2018 webmd.com. So basically, keep it around 3 ounces, I mean, what's the point of trying to see, can I eat just a little bit more, because obviously I know as much as I used to eat, I got fat, so stop chasing restrictions. I mean, it's the other thing I thought about too was, do I do that with other things? Do I do that just one more bite, or just one more thing at the grocery store, or drive, 1 mile above the limit, or because it's on sale, or leave work a minute early? Do I just a tiny bit over budget, Do I do that just one more bite thing, chasing restrictions, and thereby causing myself problems, causing my stomach to stretch, causing my budget to be $6 short? You know what I mean? That kind of a thing. It might be worth looking at in yourself to see if you're chasing restrictions I've never seen that stated before. Out of all of the various hundreds of videos I've watched of other YouTubers who've had different forms of bariatric surgery, nobody said anything about just stay with 3 ounces. I think all of us just kind of try and see if we could eat a little bit more, you know, for what purpose, you know, so that we can gain back weight, right? Anyway, so I feel good at this time consuming solid foods around 3 ounces at a time, twice a day. I don't really feel good if I eat 3 times a day because I feel just really overstuffed. 4 ounces feels uncomfortably full. Why am I pushing it, you know? Like, because if I get hungry again, I can always go eat something else again, you know? It's not like it's going anywhere, or, I mean, I'm the only one in the house, you know what I mean? This is just, why am I constantly trying to find my limit as far as food goes, and actually budget and shopping and stuff like that? Is that part of that supersize mentality that, you know, we see so much stuff on TV, consume, 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 and that goes to even stretching out your stomach, you know? Anyhow, I've noticed that my tastes have changed. Last week I complained about food having a subdued taste, you know, nothing really, everything tastes kind of flat, almost no taste at all. I've been kind of wanting sour and salty, which the kombucha does a beautiful job of. I made some blueberry kombucha. Oh my God, it's so good. Sweet is still way too sweet. But this week I actually cooked. Can you believe? I actually made a pot of soup that wasn't 10 gallons. I mean, I ate it for 4 days, but it was really good vegetable soup. I mean, and it tasted wonderful, and that's really what it was. I mean, I use frozen vegetables and I use some fresh vegetables, you know, things like that. But I found that the more I eat towards whole foods, excuse me, or the better it tastes. So I think that's another case of we've gotten used to supersize me kind of stuff, and that's what we do. I mean, and look at my experience with the baby food a month or so ago. Every single one of the baby foods had something in it to sweeten it. We are raising our babies to like sugar, to be addicted to sugar. They're addicted to sugar from day one, you know? Anyway, this week medical. Because of the coronavirus. Let me tell you this, though. YouTube has demonetized anyone who, it appears to me, is not a news agency who talks about the coronavirus will be demonetized. You will not get any advertisements. You will not make any money. Of course, I don't have enough subscriptions to be getting any advertisements anyway. You got to have 1,000 subscribers, and I think I've got 40. You know, so that ain't happening. So I can talk about it all I want, you know. This week I didn't go, this weekend, last week I did not go to 2 doctor's appointments. The doctor's appointment last week was to see my surgeon. It was the, what is it, 2 months checkup, something like that, 3 months checkup. I didn't go because I take Lyft to get to and from my doctor's appointments. That doctor is an 1.5 hour drive. I had no intention of sitting in a car with someone I absolutely had no idea who they were for an 1.5 hours to go to a doctor's office and sit in a clinic waiting room, not knowing who's been in and who's been out, and then get back into the car for another 1.5 hours with a different driver, different car, who's had different passengers, to bring me home. It ain't happening. It wasn't happening. I did not go. I called and said, I'm not coming. This is, you know, I'm fine. you know, I'm still alive. Hey, I'm not coming. The second appointment I canceled was my cardiologist. Well, he's in an office inside of a bigger office. So I've got to go through the main waiting room and then into his waiting room. And then, of course, into his various and sundry offices. That wasn't happening either. But I had questions. So I asked them if he could call me. And they said, sure, you know, because that's what he's doing. Because most of his patients are senior citizens. And nobody wants to go and expose themselves to anything. So he called me. He said that part of the halter that I wore to check my heart rhythms and stuff like that, part of my heart got better. It didn't show any kind of anything. The other part didn't get better. But, you know, who knows? He figures that I should just continue taking medication for another short while and see what happens. So I told him I have to change that medication. I was on atenolol. And I've been on atenolol for a month. That month that I was losing 1 pound. I said, the thing about atenolol is that you gain weight. So I just, of course, the state of Nevada, or the country of the Americas, you know, $30,000 or however it was, much to have my stomach cut up. And you're giving me, you know, a $2 pill that is causing me to gain weight. This is not cool. Also, of course, my migraines came back, and the tinnitus, however you pronounce that, has come back. So he said, well, you should change your medication. So he gave me metoprolol, which I have not started. I just got it from Walmart. Now that brings me to why I did, today is Saturday, why I did not put up a video yesterday. Yesterday, well, he gave me the new prescription on Thursday night, so I had to go pick it up at Walmart inside the store on Friday. And I was in absolute anxiety. I couldn't wrap my head around that for some reason. I just didn't want to do that, you know. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, you know, my heart's going to stop, which of course it's not. This morning I got up and I went to Walmart. The parking lot was half empty, which was really surprising. This was at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I went into the store, and most of the store was empty. So I got my medication, and I looked around the store, and I said, well, you're in here. Do you take the chance and go get the last of the groceries and things that you needed? So I decided to do that. At any rate, the cardiologist said that my heart is in good enough shape that I can actually start training to run and not to worry about it. So that's cool. That means that I can run that mini marathon something, assuming that they actually even have it, considering where the coronavirus is going these days. I don't know that the Grand Canyon is going to be open for visitation in November. But I'll train anyway. So anyway, when I went to order, let me start again. On Monday of this week, I went to Walmart online to order my groceries and supplies. I do that every 2 weeks. Everything that was there available on the list was limited to 2 items. There was no toilet paper, no paper towels, nothing out of that. And of course, I didn't think about it, but I'm out of paper towels. So the only thing they had available was napkins. So I said, okay, I'll get a box. I'll get some napkins. When I picked up the order, they had downgraded that to a box of tissues. And I said, well, that's a far cry from paper towels, but you know, hey, you need tissues, right? So I kept it. And I started thinking about what the heck did I used to use before they invented paper towels. I mean, you know, when my kids were small, we didn't have paper diapers. I mean, they did have them, but they were extremely expensive, and you only used those if you were going on vacation or where you not had no access to some way to wash a diaper. You know, they were all cotton. And they were good cotton, too, because we used them for everything. I mean, until they finally fell apart years and years and years later. But anyway, so that we definitely didn't have paper towels. We had toilet paper, but what the heck. So while I was in Walmart today, I decided to see if they had any paper towels, which they did not. They also didn't have any toilet paper. But that's okay, because years and years and years and years and years ago, I bought a personal bidet. And this is what it looks like. So, and it has a little hole in the bottom, which, believe it or not, doesn't leak. So you put your warm water in here, you know, and you squirt it up on your butt, and you wash off. Now, I've seen some, and this was, I think at the time, it was like $5. I think if you can get them online now for like $11, if you can get them online. But there is a workaround for this. You know those shampoo bottles that have the top that you kind of press down and it kind of pops up sideways, you know, like that, so that the liquid comes out sideways. If you use one of those bottles, you can use it as a bidet because it squirts sideways, and you could, you know. And of course, it's easy enough. You can take it with you wherever you go, however you went. But also, while I was in Walmart today, I said, okay, so what did we used to do? We used to use towels. We used to use dish towels, the old-fashioned flour sack dish towels. These were like $6, and you got 5 of them. Now I figured, okay, I got six of those, and then I got the other ones that look like terry cloth. Okay, and they was about $6. When you think about it, that's $12. And isn't that about what it costs for a roll, a package of toilet papers, or a decent sized package of paper towels? And then how long does it last? This will last me forever, for the rest of my life. You know, that's $15 every 2 weeks, or whatever it is, once a month. I don't have to spend. But, so while I was there, I also got some more dishcloths, because what the heck. So I thought I'd let you know about that. Anyway, so when I went Monday to place that order for groceries and supplies, and they were limited to 2 items each, that was like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. I could not place the order at all. They wouldn't even let you place the order until 6 o'clock the next morning. And then I couldn't pick it up until Wednesday afternoon. Now, usually I go on at night and, you know, I pick up my stuff and I pick them up 8 o'clock in the morning, the next morning, just because I'm lazy like that, you know. Couldn't do it. And then of the 27 items, 29 items, 20 of them were replaced with something else because they didn't have what I originally requested. For instance, I wanted some cans of corned beef hash because I can scoop out 3 ounces of that, heat it up, and, you know. So, and I had none left in the house, so I figured I'd get a couple of cans, you know. So they replaced the corned beef hash with refried beans. I don't know how they got that combination, but I'll go for it. They replaced the mixed vegetables that I wanted in a can with black-eyed peas, cans of black-eyed peas. So I've got lots of black-eyed peas, you know. Anyway, so I kept it all. I mean, even the replacements, because it's food, you know, what the heck. It's not something that I wouldn't eat at all, you know. So I was kind of surprised. Then that order spanned 3 days to get. Then, talking about the virus, I put some links below on things on how to make homemade hand sanitizer, and why bother, just use a bar of soap. But some people are into the modern stuff, you know what I mean? I never felt clean with hand sanitizer, to tell you the honest truth. It just felt like, to me, like I was just sterilizing the dirt on my hands. So I'd rather use soap and water, you know. The thing about this virus is that no one has ever had it before. This is brand new. That's why they call it nouveau. Anyone who comes in contact with it will develop the disease. Now, from what I understand, there's two different strains. One is very, very fast-moving, viral, harsh, and the other one is minor, like a light flu or something, a cold. So hope you get, and that's 70% of people who get the coronavirus get the one that's light. A lot of, from what I understand, the people who have died in China, a lot of the people who have died were smokers. They're smokers, they're overweight, they had emphysema, or they had, well, what's it called now? Emphysema is now called COPD, so you don't feel so bad, because emphysema sounds like you're dying, you know. COPD sounds like, oh, you got something interesting, you know. It's the same disease. You'll drown, you know, in your own lung fluids. The thing is, too, is that, of course, you get it before anybody's showing signs. So here I am walking through Walmart. I don't want to answer my door. I don't want, how long is this supposed to go? I mean, in China, they've gone 3 months. We're on lockdown for 2 weeks. What happens after that? Do you think they're going to call martial law? Or, you know, my mind is running away with this, you know. And it's really amazing how the entire world has shut down. Do you think they're going to come out of this with business as usual? Or maybe, hopefully, some kind of change? You know, where we actually treat the earth the way it's supposed to be treated, because we got no place else to go, you know. And then there's, you know, habits. I was thinking, well, maybe people will do fist bumps, you know, stuff like that, instead of shaking hands in business things. Or maybe we'll bow like the Orientals do, you know. I mean, after all, it's a very respectful greeting. But I also saw a thing online where people were talking about doing the Spock. You know, this one. This one. How do you do it now? There you go. Do the Spock. Or air fives. You know. I can't see anybody in a business meeting doing either the Spock or the fist bump or the high five, air five, but probably end up being a bow, you know. And then there's the matter of supplies. Quite a bit of our medical supplies are made in China, along with our drugs. The majority are made in China. I think that we ought to start speaking to these people really nicely, you know. And they're talking about, oh yeah, they're taking the cars and car companies and they're re-outfitting them for making medical supplies. Where are they getting these machines to re-outfit? How are they training these people? How long is that going to take? You know? And will people's habits change altogether? And maybe the way business is conducted, maybe that'll change too. And you know, this could be a real benefit. Believe it or not. Sometimes, you know, nasty shit happens in order to clean it up. Anyhow, this week I lost 2.8 pounds. That is amazing. I don't know why. I'm still taking, I took the atenolol this morning. I haven't started the metoprolol yet. That's the way it goes, you know. 2.8 pounds. That's amazing. I'm almost into the 180s. I haven't been this low in weight, oh, probably 20 years. Easily 20 years. It's amazing. I've got bingo wings, so see. They're doing their thing. I'm very proud of these bingo wings, you hear? Anyhow, Raleigh, on the other hand, is still pudgy. And I found that if I walk him for about 20 minutes at a fast clip, he'll get tired for a couple of hours. So I get up at him, and I walk him in the morning, and I walk fast, and well, I mean, I need to walk fast. I need to get my cardio up, and get him over to the dog place, or wherever, so he can do his business. And then we walk the long way around everywhere I can. I try and do different routes so that he doesn't get used to going the same place, doing the same thing. And walking for about 20 minutes. He'll come in the house, he'll fall down, lay down, go to sleep. And then somewhere around lunchtime, he'll wake up and he wants to play. So then I get over and I play with him for 20 minutes, I throw the ball in the house, and he goes running like crazy, and he catches it and brings it back, and he's such a great boy. And then he goes to sleep, which is kind of cool. So I'm learning how to keep him entertained, I guess that's the way it goes. And of course, why else would you have a dog unless you're going to play with him? Play with him, pet him, love him up, So, now that I have talked you half to death, to sum up, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better than I have in quite some time. And it feels wonderful to get on that scale and see the numbers start going down. That's a biggie. And I still don't have any regrets about the surgery. Not at all. I'm learning to eat well and to eat good food, So, you people stay safe, okay? Wash your hands. Don't touch your face when you wash. Which reminds me, I was at the dog park last night, and I realized, oh my God, I have to touch the gate. I have to lift up the cover on the garbage can. I have to touch the rake and the scooper. And if I want to sit down, touch the benches or whatever, And I mean, I was in a case of paranoia yesterday. I finally had to get it together. I think all I needed to do was go to bed. Because Thursday night, I was awake most of the night. I didn't go to bed until after midnight. I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, one of those kind of things. It was just a really weird day. And for some reason, I was doing the anxiety thing. And today I'm not. I have no idea why. So anyway, please like, share, subscribe, ring the notification bell. And don't forget to click show more to see the descriptions below. I put some interesting information about the coronavirus. I put information about bidets, different kinds of bidets, what you can buy, what you can make. And let's get real again. I remember vaguely paying $17 for a package of toilet paper. Why? Why? All you're doing is smearing the shit on your butt. If it dropped on your arms, you wouldn't take a piece of toilet paper and wipe it off. You know what I mean? So start using some water. That's all I got to say. You take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Blessed be. Okay?